Okay, maybe the third time is the charm. I am Dr. Holly Kelly, and this is still Dr. Kelly's Perspective. I have no idea what is going on tonight. One of two things is happening. Either I have no business doing this tonight, or I really need to do this because somebody needs to hear this and change up some behavior. So I'm going to go with the latter of the two. Whew, my goodness, this has been a doozy. Persistence. Persistence is what it's about. So I'm going to try this all over again. I was reminded of this story where this young man from college had been invited to an evening with the president where he was going to be able to get some one-on-one time and meet the president. A big deal for college students. And so, suit and tie, fancy dinner, everything. Just a great opportunity for the young man. Well, he did not pretend that steak was part of his weekly meal plan. And so he acted like he had not eaten in 40 days and 40 nights. Quite embarrassing. And then he had the audacity, when he could get everything he could with the fork and knife, he proceeded to pick up the steak and suck the marrow from the bone. I mean, it was not a pretty picture. But one of the department chairs was sitting close enough to him, and although she could have humiliated him, no time flat, could have humiliated him, instead she simply leaned over to him and said, "Son, take my plate. Go on and take mine." She was teaching him how to behave better in a public forum without the embarrassment, without the humiliation. So he goes on, he graduates, he goes on to Harvard Law and eventually becomes a partner in a prestigious law firm, but he never, ever forgot. He never forgot what could have been a very humiliating evening. My question for us is, how often do we shred somebody's character or their personhood in the midst of making a correction, in the midst of addressing a mistake? Yes, she had another option. She could have very easily, very quickly asked him, "Hey, where's the wolf pack that raised you?" She could have said, "Oh my goodness, I could have chosen any student on this campus, and I chose one who came and embarrassed me." Worse yet, she could not have said anything. She could have talked about him instead of talking to him. How we do what we do still matters. The bottom line was the behavior was corrected. The behavior ended. He never went anywhere else, doing that, acting like that in public. He didn't do that. So the behavior was corrected, but there were two divergent roads that have second and third order effects to this thing. One leaves you remembering the lesson years later, years after the fact. But it also gives you such a tremendous appreciation for the grace, the compassion, the patience, the sensitivity with which the correction was made. And more than likely, when he was put in a position to correct someone else, to amend an error, he remembered how it was done for him. He remembered the grace with which it was done to him. The other version also would have stopped the behavior, but it would have left you feeling humiliated or embarrassed or actually angry at how it was done, even if you get through it by laughing and putting a smile on your face. The anger is still there, the shame and the embarrassment. So how we do what we do, how we leave people feeling, how we encourage change behavior matters. It still matters. And we need to remember that there are always second and third order effects. I am not talking, hear me well, I am not talking about tiptoeing around bad behavior or ignoring poor decision-making skills. That's not what I'm talking about, okay? I'm talking about recognizing that there is a way in which we can do things. You can change a behavior. You can encourage a behavior to be changed without shredding the person. Some of you have bloodied and broken bodies strewn behind you. You got a trail of broken people behind you because of how you did what you did. And we even have sometimes the audacity to take pride in being able to shred people. Real leaders understand that you can encourage change behavior without shredding a person. Okay? When you have enough, when you care enough about them not to ignore it, but you care enough about them to grow them in the process, the how still matters. Okay? I think I'm going to call it quits for tonight before this explodes on me. Listen, recognize the how in what you're doing. It matters. So, until then, take real good care of yourselves, and I'm encouraging you, if you are gaining any nuggets of wisdom that you can use, not theoretical, intellectual assent to something. If you are gaining nuggets that are practical and relevant to your everyday life, share the video. Okay? Until next time, until Saturday, take real good care.